Not your average tabletop. Woohoo!
Welcome to Not Your Average Tabletop. I'm Zach.
And I'm Pepper.
Today we're back with another episode of Take My Money on a Monday, which is a little bit different.
Take my
But
Monday.
Take My Monday, as we'll now call it, even when it's on a Friday. But this is where we look at some current Kickstarter GameFound projects going on relating to board games and kind of just give our thoughts on them, what we think of them. Some of them we may know a little bit more about than others. If they piqued our interest, those are probably the ones we'll know a little bit more about. And then there may be some that just weren't as interesting or caught our attention as much. So, yeah, let us know in the comments below if you're currently expecting any Kickstarters to come in soon, if what you're excited about, if you're backing any of these. We'd love to hear it. But we'll start off with some here by famed, legendary designer Reiner Knizia. These are his 2000th and 2001 games, maybe.
No,
I
he
don't know if there's that
actually
many,
he
but
designed a few of them in between these two, about 20 more in between these two.
that's true. That's true. These weren't back to back, probably. But yeah, it's interesting because now I think the last time we had one of these, we had it's either the last time or 2 times ago, we had a Reiner Knizia project. And it seems like, I don't know. I suppose he's making them all the time, so it's not that
Yeah,
surprising, but it's just kind of crazy how he keeps having more and more, and
he
he
does.
already, yeah, so many games. And I
Yeah.
don't know, I guess I'm not sure. Were these based on something previously? None of us want to say the
Oh,
name to these.
that's
Iliad
true.
and
That's true. We'll
Ichor,
mispronounce
2 player
everything.
games.
Yes.
140,000, so they're doing
Yeah.
well. 1,800, but a little under 2 weeks to go.
Yeah. He's made some
Shows
pretty
some of
good.
his others.
He's made some pretty good two-player games.
He has.
I've heard good things about most of them. We've played Schottentotten and Lost Cities. I think I love Lost Cities. I like Schottentotten a good bit, but yeah, that's
I would
pretty
say they kind
exciting.
of feel similar.
Yeah, they do. They do. So I wonder if these other two, or if although these new ones don't seem like they
They don't
feel
seem like, I wouldn't say they
much
seem like those other two that we
like
have
those.
played.
Yeah. So Iliad, as I'll call it. Hopefully that's correct. This one you are placing a tile down, and you can place it on your color. So you're blue and your opponent's red or whatever, and you can place on these blue squares. And it has to be next to an opponent tile. And then based on what number you played, that tile will have a certain effect, like move an opponent's tile to a different space that it can be placed in, or move one of your tiles in a different space, or different things like that. And you're pretty much trying to complete rows and columns. And when they are completed, you want to have the majority, the highest sum of your tokens in that line, because then you get to choose the better of the two tiles on the outside of the board for that line. As you can see, they could be possibly a difference of negative 10 points to positive 4
Right.
points.
I was gonna say it seems like they can vary wildly depending
Yes.
on. So I think those get set out like randomly, right?
Yep.
I don't
Yep.
think those are the same. So it could be very huge differences where some it's like, if I lose that one, it's
Yeah.
maybe only a small difference. But then there's something like that where it's
Like a
a
plus
14
10 and
point
a negative
difference.
10. Like, well, that you need to win that. But
Right.
maybe you don't. You could be losing in points, because I think to win this game, there's the different colors of point cards or point tiles, and you want to have a full set, so one of every one. And that's kind of like, if you're the only one of the two to get a full set, then you win. It doesn't matter if they had way more points otherwise. You just win if they aren't able to do it. But if you either both get a full set or none of you do, then it comes down to normal points. I like that
Yeah.
one. I'm much more interested in this one than the other one. It's probably because it's the one I looked at first. That probably had a little to do with it, but that just seemed unique, something cool about it.
Yeah, I agree. I was actually pretty interested in that one. And I'm actually surprised because I thought when I looked at the next one, I was like, oh boy, this has Pepper written all over it. It seemed like very much a Pepper
When,
game.
when I said that sentence there, I actually kind of forgot what the next one was. Then I saw it, and I'm like, actually, that one was pretty cool too. uh, but yeah, I do still. I think I'd go with the first one. But this one also looked pretty cool. Obviously, they have some upgraded components options, and This one, you're pretty much moving your pieces in a straight line is the basic thing of the game. You have to stop. You can't move through another player's person. And pretty much everything you move through, you put one of your tokens on there, possibly replacing other people's tokens as well. And you want to get all your tokens on the board. There are special abilities, and I think maybe some mini expansions in there as well for different variabilities. That look cool as well, but I don't know if is it going to. Well, one, I feel like maybe the game could just keep going back and forth forever, or possibly be maybe just a runaway winner, kind of hard to catch up if you really get caught in a corner type of thing.
Yeah, that one, that was what I wasn't sure about, and I didn't look at it close enough because I know you can have kind of special ability cards that says that you can use to potentially do some interesting things as well. So I was like, well, I kind of wonder what those do, and if I guess I didn't really look to see if both players get like the same cards, so it's not like, oh, you're randomly given some cards and maybe some feel way stronger than others or something like that, or just situationally might be better. All of a sudden, like, oh, I got this one, which in this situation is actually great, whereas someone else could get it, and it's like, well, the way I'm currently set up, this isn't actually a very great power, but yeah, I wasn't sure either if that one kind of would feel like, oh, yeah, I took all 4 of those spots, and then the next player, oh, I just switched those, now they're mine.
Yeah.
And yeah, if it's kind of a back and forth like that, I don't know that would be as enjoyable, but yeah, I'm much more excited about the first one. But I feel like they're both games that being 2-player games and probably both seeming like maybe they're shorter to mid game, like 30 minutes to an hour maybe would be my guess from looking at the size of them and kind of knowing some of playing those other Reiner Knizia 2-player games that we had there. I would assume it's somewhere in there. If I saw these at like a convention, these feel like ones that I would try there for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, so the price, it'll be $29 for either individual game that you get, and then standard edition, I believe, $58 if you're getting both of them, $95 if you're getting both of them as their deluxe versions, which it did look like they had some pretty cool components, upgrading those tiles to wood and acrylic standees, and even an overproduced little stand to put the point tiles on. It's cool, but it might be a little much. I think that definitely would bring it down to probably just getting one game. To just the first one.
Yeah, I would agree. I would probably, if I was getting deluxe, I would probably just get the first one. Otherwise, I think both of these would be fine after the fact in retail. I'm assuming they'll be available.
Yeah,
but
and shipping, it's not that bad for the US at least, $4, whatever version you go with.
Yeah, not too bad.
Going for March 2025. And another 2-player game, Operation Barclay. This one,
Salt and Pepper Games.
Salt and Pepper Games. Had to do it, being Pepper myself.
I think it had about 900 backers, a few days to go, $30,000. And actually, their other Kickstarter that I backed, Conservas, however you pronounce it, actually, well, I was going to say it's delivering tomorrow. It's supposed to be coming tomorrow. But actually, it'll be today when you're seeing, if you're watching this on the first day it's released, it'll be today that I'm going to get that. So we'll have to see. I'll have to try to get that one played in these next 3 days and see if it's great. And if it is, I'll just assume that this one's also great.
Yes.
Even though I don't think it's the same designers or any of that.
No, but it's guaranteed to be great. Yeah, this one's cool. It's kind of, so you're putting these tiles out to pretty much to win them to auction or whatever auction, but to try to win them into these 3 sections, and you're getting a hand of cards, and you're trying to make a hand of 3 cards, I think.
It'll be a 5-card hand, but you show 3 of them.
Yeah, okay. You show 3
initially.
Yes.
Bet on it. Who's going to win the hand?
Yeah.
And then do 2 more, I think.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So then it's whoever has the best hand wins the top 2.
I think they showed it down below, maybe.
Okay. The player with the best hand wins the top 2 tiles. The player who successfully predicted who would win with the best hand gets those 3 tiles, which I'm like a 50-50 shot. You get the most tiles, and then whoever has the most of a certain symbol on their cards or whatever gets this bonus tile at the end there. I don't know exactly how each side wins, but you're pretty much taking up each tile corresponds to a spot on this board. That seems interesting. I like it. I'm always interested in specifically 2-player only games, especially if there's maybe some little area control that always seems kind of cool at 2 players. I don't know if that's what this is at all, and it looks really nice, but I'm really not sure if that would actually be interesting or if that would just get old very quickly. That's
Yeah, this is one that I'm definitely interested in because it has that. I've really wanted to see some more games use like poker hand type style thing in a way to kind of, I don't know, in a fun way. Feel like this could be that. I have thought, I'm like, it would be cool if you had some battling game where you're using poker hands, but then I don't. It's hard to make it so it's not just luck based. But like when
Yeah.
you're betting on the person to win, that is an interesting thought of that. But yeah, I also could not really tell what exactly the goal was that you were trying to do here outside of how you're getting those discs or tokens or whatever and taking those spots. I wasn't really sure on that, but I really like the artwork in this one, and I think it's a reasonably priced game. So I think this is one that I'm gonna have to look at a little bit more. Hopefully, it'll be. I don't back it. Hopefully, it'll be available after the fact. I don't know if their games usually are or not, but
yeah, I would hope so. Yeah, I'm looking. I need to look into this more because that looked like it had some cool things. And another 2-player game. This is, I think, a game that I think I saw the cover when we did some games at Essen. Looking forward to. I only could see the cover. I'm like, that looks pretty cool. Boy sleeping with his pet cats. I'm all in on this one. Incubo, whatever it is.
From Mojito Studio.
Mojito Studios. What have they done? That sounds familiar. Maybe it's just because I looked at this project. But over $6,000, over 100 backers, and this one you're pretty much one of your cats or whatever has gone missing while you're asleep, I believe, and you're going through this dream with your other pet cat, and it's deck building cooperatively, and you're trading cards so when you play a card, you pretty much are trying to add strength to different things throughout the game to defeat them, and when you do that, you're placing it either in a spot where at the end it's going to go to the box, back to your discard, or to your teammate's discard. The reason you want to do that is that they have kind of 2 sides, and maybe they would be a little more powerful in your in the cat's hands, in his paws, or the boy's hands. So then you can maybe trade them back and forth. I like that idea. I don't know if I've seen that much or in anywhere where you're kind of like, oh, this is better for you, so I'll use it.
The only thing I can think of is
the to you.
Match of the Century game where you're flipping cards when you're white and black. I guess that's the closest thing I can think of. You're not necessarily trading cards with another player, but depending on what you're playing, if you're playing as white, you're using one half of the cards. If you're playing as black, you're using the other half. It's the closest thing I can think of, but it's not quite that.
Yeah, it sounds cool.
Yeah, it's cool. Ooh, it does sound cool.
Utopia, I might have to try it. And this one, depending on base pledge, is not too bad. $25. Thankfully, sometimes some of these seemingly smaller ones will just show up and they'll be like, $50, and I'll be like, okay, that's a little much. Sadly, but right. 25 is not too bad if you want to go with some metal dice and things like that. Extra postcard, you can get up to $60. Or if you just want the dice, you can sacrifice the postcard. $40.
Yeah, it looks like it's delivering next July, so it'll be a little bit out there. I guess what was I don't think did we look at Operation whatever what the price was?
That one is out. Not too bad
Maybe I
either.
missed it. Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah. Shipping
11 US dollars shipping. So then
Yeah.
I mean it gets up a little bit more, but still more reasonable than yeah. Sometimes I know what you mean. There's sometimes smaller games that just end up being a lot
Yeah.
or seem like a lot for what
Then
you get.
Cleopatra. Yeah, let's do what they did.
Mhm. Sounds familiar. The company.
I
Oh
don't
boy.
believe this is a 2-player only game, but but I do declare I am interested in this game because of the
I
design.
figured you'd be. I figured you'd be. But when I first saw this, and I guess I didn't actually look. Is this based on an IP?
I'm not sure
I was
if
like,
it's
what superhero IP comic is
like
this?
this looks you're looking a little bit like Thor here. Thor and jeans.
I didn't even notice that. I just noticed the one in the middle, and I was like, oh boy, comic books or something. 140,000, 2,000 backers, 65 hours to go. So if you want this one, you're gonna have to act quick. When this video drops, it'll be much less than that. But
Yes.
John DeClaire does a lot of these kind of unique games with kind of some uh, card sleeves where you're building cards as opposed to maybe building a deck. And this one is similar to that, or it's a little different, but it's similar, where you're building up these different cards or putting them together. And then I guess I wasn't fully sure what you were doing once
Yeah, not
that
sure
part was
about it.
done.
All I heard was John DeClaire and card crafting.
Yeah, and I
It,
thought the artwork looked cool, and the way that these ones went together, or like had like those notches in the cards,
oh,
I
yeah.
thought that looked cool. But at the end of the day, that's probably I mean it ends up being the same thing
Yeah.
as maybe some of his other ones. I really like Mystic Veil, and yeah, so I think you get kind of some of those powers there, and then you're kind of confronting those threats, defeating them before they get all very evil, take you
Yes.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah, John DeClaire is usually pretty solid with his design, so I would assume this one will be pretty good.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, yeah, I'm interested because it was John DeClaire, but at the same time, we still have to play Edge of Darkness. Is that what it's called?
Oh, yep.
Another one of his kind of bigger box. I don't know gameplay wise if it feels as big as the box is, but
Right.
got to try that one. Dead Reckoning never really drew us in. It just seemed a little too much.
Yeah. I think initially I was interested, but then
Yeah.
I don't know, as reviews came out and it sounded like it was a little bit more of a bear.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, eh.
Yeah.
I
I
like the
think.
simplicity of like he did Space, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. For some reason I was thinking Garfield all of a sudden. I was like, wait, no, is that Richard Garfield? No. But yeah, that's like quick fast and Mystic Veil, quick fast. So I like those. Tend to like those ones of his games, but
Say, I don't know
I don't know
if
if that would be
card
this.
crafting, if it, I mean, Mystic Veil is just kind of just the pure, perfect version of card crafting that like, I'm kind of hesitant to try other ones just because I'm like, I don't know if it can capture that magic like it
True.
did there. I mean, if I want that juice, I don't want anything distracting from it. So just go back to that, the granddaddy of card crafting games.
True.
But maybe this is the next one. You can get the base pledge, I believe, here for $60. Playmat, I guess, for $75. 2 playmats, $90. More and more playmats. Unbelievable amounts of playmats.
Which we love. We're
Six.
big fans. Big fans.
6,000 playmats, I believe that says. Now, if that was 6,000 playmats, that'd be a deal.
We might get it then.
Yes. And shipping, depending on your level, 20 to $30. Not too.
Yeah. I think this is one that I'd maybe get after the fact in retail. I assume it'll be in retail. It's Renegade Games, John DeClaire. I would assume. It's kind of interesting because he
Maybe.
usually seems to do stuff for AEG.
AEG, yeah, this is Renegade.
And Renegade and AEG to me are like the same type of company where they put out a lot of just like, I don't know, consistent feeling games.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I'd
it's
say
kind of
they're
strange that
maybe
he
he
probably has done
mixed
one
them
for
up.
Renegade before.
Maybe he mixed them up.
No, Space Base is AEG.
Yeah.
He might have mixed them up.
He's like,
It's
oh,
just
dang it.
strange.
Thought this was AEG. Oops.
Well, I'm too far in the rabbit hole now. Then we've got Zach's pick of the week, probably. Ada's Dream. 165,000 almost. 2,200 backers, 67 hours ago. So this one doesn't have much time either. But this one was one I was interested in. And then I saw it was Alley Cat Games, who their most recent game that I played that I really, really loved. Only played it once, but I did buy it afterwards. And that is Arborea,
Oh,
however you pronounce that. Really like that one. That one had tracks. It was definitely different gameplay than this, but it was a really solid game. So,
okay.
Going off of that, this one also looked very interesting to me, and it's kind of that heavier Euro strategy type game.
Anything with
got a
four
rondel
sections here, then you
got
get
a rondel of
center
dice.
section. Yes,
I really like a rondel of dice.
and
That
dice.
seems very interesting to me. And then I saw, and I don't know if this is how all the scoring works, but then it's like you've almost maybe that was the only thing I saw, but it was almost like this mathematical equation of add these two dice and multiply it by this, and you get that many points. And I'm like, that sounds so fun to me. I
It
don't
does.
know
Like you're
why.
just building
I
out your
don't know why
board
it
into
does.
equations. It looked like, and I was like, that's cool. I mean, I don't know exactly how this is working, but I like that.
It just
Yeah,
feels like it could be big points, and I
yeah,
just love when you can do something that
because it
just
kind of
feels really
tallied the point
satisfying.
stuff, and I'm like, oh, 4, 8, 5, 30 points. I'm like, oh my goodness, that escalated quickly. Of course, you got to have a travel section, move along some tracks, hit some bonuses, gather and pay, whatever. Classic Euro.
Yeah.
The
And I think
playable.
overall it looks pretty solid. I like the look of it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm tempted. I am definitely tempted, but might just wait as well.
Maybe it's on
But this one
BGA.
looks pretty good.
Sometimes they surprise us and turn out to be on there. This feels like one that would go to Board Game Arena.
It really should. It should already be there, honestly. Then I can try it out and buy the game. But yeah, this one's pretty solid. What is it? $57 to
57,
retail. And then
69.
69 for the deluxe Kickstarter exclusive. So I mean, it could be pretty solid. Collector's edition. I think it's got a playmat maybe. So I don't need that one personally.
About 17 bucks. Yeah.
It still adds up quickly, unfortunately, but it looks, in my opinion, it looks like it could be a really solid game. It could be one of my next favorites, I think.
I think it could be. I think it could be. But will this one? Oh, dang it. It's this one. Skytear Horde campaigns. We've covered some Skytear Horde before, I think.
It feels like we have.
Covered it 3 times.
Making a lot of money though. I mean,
they are
got over 200. It's got 230,000, almost 2,000 backers. 3 days to go. I'm wondering if a lot of those are people buying additional content or if people just getting into it. This one, it kind of looks like some of the other. I don't know. I feel like there's one of these that comes out every month or two, where it's kind of a battle style feeling game.
About 400 new to the party pledges, I believe. But over like 1,300.
Still a good chunk returning. So, I mean, people that have liked the game are coming back for more content. So, I mean, that's a good sign that, I mean, that's probably a solid game. And I don't think there's anything about this one that I'm like turned off by completely of, oh, I'd never want to play this or anything. I would play this one. I think if someone had it and, you know, was looking for someone to play, the artwork looks good and seems like it could be good, but I don't know. I feel like I've seen, whether it be this or other games, I feel like I've seen several of these that seem like this, and I
Yeah.
don't know.
All the
I'm
rules
not.
fit in 2 pages. Oh, it's pretty good. I like it when it's just a simple,
This is
uh,
good.
accessible. Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe it is, just this quick thing, easy thing to learn. I do love that. So definitely not against it, but yeah, with the cutback of trying to stop myself from getting additional games, this just feels like maybe something we have, or
Yeah.
I don't know, similar.
Yeah, I don't think we're looking for that many kind of just pick and fight uh,
Mhm.
type of games, but it looks
I don't
really
know.
nice. I like the artwork style a lot. Um, but yeah, I have to refrain from watching any playthroughs because then I may be drawn into it.
Yeah, because I would say this is probably some of the better artwork I've seen on one of these style games, though.
Yeah.
So that part is something that would lure me in. And like I said, someone offered to play this, I would probably do it. But yeah, I just feel like we have a lot of, or have played a lot of the battler games, feeling
Yeah.
games.
Yeah.
And then I just go back to Unmatched, and I think I would probably rather play Unmatched. But
Yeah.
granted, I'm not saying this is like Unmatched, but just.
Click on
Oh
this.
my gosh, a lot
Who
of
knows where the
content though. There's
shipping
a lot of
is? There
content.
it
There's
is.
a lot of content in there.
Another 20 to 30 bucks there.
Mm,
So yeah, probably not going in on it, but looks good and the
it
players like
does.
it. Oh boy. Maybe this would be your pick of the week.
Yeah, I'm not saying for sure Ada's Dream is, but that one's definitely up there for me. This one though, I feel like, yeah, maybe if I had the right group of people,
Yeah. It's
uh,
a bit much.
Europa, Universal. This is one where, yeah, I'd have to have the right group, and I think Zachary would probably play this. But I don't know how
This
many
is
other people.
simulating the world. This is World Simulator.
Yeah, this one definitely looks like it's a lot to it, and I think I looked on Board Game Geek, and it's rated really highly, but I think it was like a 4.8, 4.9 weight. So I'm like, okay, this thing's pretty heavy as a brick. And yeah, I I think this looks great, and I'm like, I really kind of want to play this game, but I don't think I would ever actually get it to the table because yeah, if it's that heavy, I'm guessing there's a lot going on, a lot of decision making, and there's a lot. It looks like a lot of potential text on those
Yeah,
cards.
that was like
Uh,
80% text.
yeah, I think this one could
Those
be a lot of
trays.
fun, but this would be one that I'd also probably only be able to play once a year if I'm lucky.
Yeah, that's the thing. It looked cool putting all your tokens out on the map. I'm like, oh my goodness, just something unique. We don't really have that, but there's probably a reason that we don't have that. It's because we wouldn't play that. Um, but that experience is always enticing. Um,
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I feel like I'd probably rather play the like I have not played Twilight Imperium, fourth
uh,
edition or any of the editions. I think I'd rather, from the looks of this, I'd probably be more interested in playing this than that. I know that one's got more history to it and is kind of a proven thing that a lot of people like, but I do like the look of this one better. But I'm probably a bigger fan of this type of theme than space
yeah,
to
yeah,
begin with, so that's just a personal preference.
yeah.
But yeah,
Deluxe,
pretty
180.
spendy,
Gonna be pretty expensive, yeah. And shipping's
but
gonna be
it looks
another
like you get a
20,
lot.
30.
You get a
Yeah,
lot of content in there.
yeah.
So see, I don't know. Did we say the name of it?
Oh, Europa Universalis.
The Price of Power Deluxe
Price of
Edition.
power 428,000. Over
Doing it's doing
2,000
really well.
backers.
2,000 backers. Oh, over a week to go. I mean, this thing's gonna break 500,000
It's
at
gonna break
least.
10 mil. I think
It might after people start watching this video.
yeah, and our
It's
just
gonna they're gonna be like, that
enthusiasm
is my game.
about it.
No, I think it looks good.
Yeah, it does. I think that. Oh, this is the 4X. Oh, I put the 4. I was like, I thought there was another 4X. I hope I put them back to back. Looks like I did. Rise of the Wastelands.
This one's not doing as well as that one, but still doing well. 35,390 backers.
Yeah. So
10 days to go.
After all that war from that previous one, all these
this is what's left.
People, it's the Wastelands. I think some comets or something hit the Earth, and now there's big giant spider creatures. I'm like, okay, it's not gonna just create big crystal glowing spiders like they do in all of these games.
It's going to, but you don't know.
I'm like, nah.
You've never witnessed it happen.
There will be no life. It's not going to turn into Skull Island. It's ridiculous.
It's going to.
But it does look very cool. Like anytime
this one also looks very cool.
Slot things into miniatures, especially building structures. That's a gimmick. It just works for me.
Works for me too. Even when it's just those normal cubes. Yeah. It's not even like necessarily a special cube there. I really like the look of this one too. But yeah, this is another one I'm not sure.
Even the wood.
I think I'd be more likely to play this. I think this one's a little more approachable than the last one. But
yeah, for sure.
It's another one, 4X game. I don't know if we would get this one played as much. And I feel like most 4X games probably do better at higher player counts.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think so.
As a generalization. But yeah, a lot of good looking stuff with the screen printing.
Basic version still looks pretty cool even without the minis. Might even look better. I mean, wooden versus minis, I feel like one you can't just say is objectively better, because I know we have Crusaders and that has both of them in our edition of it, and sometimes you just feel like, oh, I want my miniature horse out there, and sometimes you're like, I want my classic wooden meeple knight on there, and it's just all up to preference. But price-wise, I think it does go quite a bit cheaper. I assume with that wooden version, it's going to be $64 versus $96. So
yeah, I think they come screen printed in that standard.
It looks like it. Yeah, looks like there's screen printing on there.
I think their screen printing stuff looks pretty darn good, and I would personally. I tend to like wooden pieces though. I think that just gives it more of a Euro-y feel for me when it has nice chunky wooden pieces, and now with the screen printing that a lot of companies do, I just like something about that. So I'd probably actually just back it at that version. I mean, not saying that the plastic ones look really good too, but
yeah, I'd say probably would just go in on that. But I mean, I'm okay with either version. I think you lean a little towards the wood, and certainly people will have nothing but miniature if that's an option.
Right.
Yeah, it looks cool. We just aren't big 4X players. Gotta play Last Light sometime. Get a 4X in our game logs so we can say we've played one. I guess I don't know if we have played one. Maybe you've played one.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I guess it depends what you consider a 4X.
$20 shipping.
Yeah. And it's about what you'd expect.
Yeah.
And then we're staying in space.
Yes.
Last Command.
Yes. Is this a dual deck building game? More deck building. This might also be 2-player only, I believe.
Yeah.
256 backers, 17,500.
Yep, 1 to 2 players.
Yep. Yeah, this one looks, I don't know, from the cover I was like, it seems maybe just a little older. Kind of an older look, something about it. I don't know, maybe the font or something. Not a bad look, but it just felt more classic, maybe like a video game, computer game or something.
I would agree. It was something about it that didn't feel as kind of recent, modern maybe, but yeah, it also doesn't feel like, oh, this is from 30, 40 years ago, but just a kind of older look to it. Not terrible. And this one, kind of like some of the other ones we looked at, it just kind of feels like one of those that maybe it had. Not saying that this couldn't be my favorite one of this style. It easily could be. Looks like it could be a lot of fun. You've kind of got the different types and stuff, kind of like a
Lasers
lot of the
shooting everywhere and
yeah,
explosions.
actual explosions on the table happening right before your eyes. Uh, but no, I think the artwork on the cards and stuff looks good. It looks like it's got some easy to learn symbology.
Yeah.
Kind of once you get it, I mean, it looks like it uses similar type of symbology throughout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, look cool as you're upgrading your different things and getting crew to kind of synergize and pretty much match symbols and gain bonuses like that. That's always, I mean, it's in a lot of games. You're just trying to build an engine that works together, but it's always satisfying.
Mhm.
Yeah, what are the pledges for this? Retail and $39 for the Commander pledge. And
Oh,
then $59 for a little more. Get a couple versions
you can
there.
jump up to the next 300, 200.
Yeah.
It must just be some special
But yeah,
stuff.
those base single game pledges, not too bad. $59 for the most expensive. Pretty good.
Not awful.
Yeah.
Not awful at all.
Shipping only $9.
Yeah, it's actually once you factor that in, that's not too bad. Uh, but yeah, that's another one that I don't know. I'd have to try it first. I mean, just the basic game, I guess 39.99 probably is about the right price, but I wonder if it's a little much for what the
Yeah.
game is. But it's obviously hard to say without playing it.
Yeah.
Could be very solid.
Yeah.
I don't think it's definitely not like a crazy price.
Yeah, for sure. Oh boy, and then we are on to Bubble Net.
Buble Net,
Yes.
which has got 9,500 pledged, 287 backers, a little over a week to go. This one might be what Kickstarter's made for.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it's kind of taking kind of an interesting thing that I didn't know about.
Yeah.
Was a thing where I guess some whales use like this bubble thing to or make bubbles and then like force these fish or whatever they're going to eat kind of into almost a ball, I would
This is
assume. Or
actual gameplay right here. Gameplay
yes,
footage.
exactly. So that they can eat them all, kind of all in one
Yes.
swoop.
Yeah.
So
So
it's a really kind of a cool theme. But then I will say I was not sure what I feel about the actual gameplay or how that would work because you're kind of moving one of those bubbles and moving it forward and then moving fish in
yeah.
and then kind of placing two tokens of whales or whatever to kind of
Yeah.
trap in certain areas of fish. Uh, and then you kind of reveal a card and then certain fish will try to escape. If they're not blocked by those tokens there, then I think they kind of go over your mat. And by the end of the game, you're trying to have captured more fish in the center than fish that escaped. So I mean, I think it's kind of it seems cool, but I don't know that this would be one that I would uh, necessarily want to own without playing it
Yeah.
first, at least to see if it kind of feels like it'll be unique gameplay each time. I wasn't sure if it would
Yeah,
feel that way or not.
that's what I'm not sure about. If it is going to really feel like one, like I don't know if I don't think every fish moves, so you must reveal cards that do certain fish. I don't know if there's really going to be much like strategy.
Yeah.
I like the idea of kind of how it's working and how you're scoring the fish and moving them. I
Mhm.
just do hope that it is interesting from game to game, but I could roll dice against each other and have fun with that, make little matchups. So
Yeah.
obviously, being super variable or replayable isn't like the top importance for me. It is more important for others, um,
Mhm.
but I mean that is something to consider. I just am not sure if this is going to feel very variable or
Like you're having to make any decisions.
yeah, yeah,
Because at least like with those dice, there is kind of that funness to, oh, what's the result going to
yeah.
be?
It's true.
Whereas I don't know if I can't tell if this will have that or not. I just don't know fully.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it doesn't, but I couldn't quite tell
And also, I
if
don't
this will.
know if it's going to feel like, are you going to win every time? I don't know. Is it going to
Right.
be, you just had to have more that you've eaten than you haven't. Is that going to be easy to win? Is it going to be hard to win? I think the first player to get like all of them into the center ring, then gets all of those and puts them over into their pile. Other players also, I think, get the ones in the center ring, but the ones on the outside, I think, go away. Is that going to be a huge disadvantage? I don't know. But yeah, I'm not sure. It looks interesting. It does feel very independent, like what Kickstarter is made for, like you said. And that always makes it a little more wanting to support these projects. And looks like a unique one. I haven't seen anything, especially with the theme.
Right, yeah, 100% the theme, and I do like kind of underwater and fish in general. So I mean, this would be one that I would be interested in. I'd maybe do the print and play. I think this is another thing. The pricing just seemed like a bit much as well for what it, from what I could tell that the game was doing, and maybe I'm totally misunderstanding or misthinking of, like I said, maybe not having as much strategy. That just feels like a lot. But we've got some good quotes in here. There are no cats in the game. BubbleNet is 100% train free. In Spirit Island, there are many unique spirits with all kinds of rules and special abilities. In BubbleNet, you are always whales, and your power is always bubbles. Pretty good.
Needs to make an expansion to Spirit Island now. Just oops, all whales.
Exactly.
They're shipping here. There it is. Another $15. It gets to be decently expensive for a very approachable game.
Yeah.
It's got a bunch of nice fish, wooden fish.
I do like the look of the fish.
Beads.
I think overall the artwork looks like it works.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, I wish it was just a little bit more of the game, but maybe I'd have to watch an actual gameplay of it to see it actually being played. But
yeah. Oh boy.
then we've
Phantom
got an expansion.
Arcana. Standalone expansion.
True. And this has got almost 18,000, just under 500 backers, a little over a week ago as well. We got Pepper starting there on that top line of that one that started. If you go up a little bit.
Oh boy. They misspelled Zach there.
They did. But yes, so I own the original game of this, have not had the chance to play it yet. But yeah, I'm definitely interested in this one. This one's more of kind of a party style game, or kind of bigger group game at least. And yeah, it seems like an interesting concept. I wasn't sure. I think this one kind of just adds more stuff, it seems like. So
Yeah.
I think that would be good.
I think it adds some of these purple cards as well, which are special abilities. The Arcana cards, I don't think those are in the original game.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I think they have like a 2 to 3 player cooperative version, which I don't think the original has. So that could be good for when you don't have maybe the bigger 6-player group.
Oh, yeah.
I think overall this seems like more or less kind of the same thing. Don't remember how easily Phantom Ink was available after the fact, but this is a good way to get that one. Otherwise, hopefully, maybe it'll be available afterwards. Expansions, I think it's always tough. I guess if you didn't ever have the original, I guess this is a good way to for sure get that if it looks interesting to you.
Yeah. I guess, yeah, so you have the regular version, I believe $28 says there. You can get Kickstarter edition, which has a foil on your cards, which always looks really nice, especially on these cards where they make all these. It just looks beautiful. Makes me think of those unmatched promos, which are awesome. Brings it up to $32, which isn't that much higher. So if you're getting this, and they'll have exclusives here. You get some crystal tokens and some disappearing ink pens, which is pretty cool. I don't know. I don't have much experience with these. If it's actually going to be like, oh, and it's a completely clean sheet of paper an hour later. Don't know if it's going to be like that, but probably get a lot more use out of those 100 sheets than if you didn't have it.
Yeah.
So that's cool. bundle
That
for
does, that is pretty
$50.
cool.
Add on a giant window fling board. Why not for $25?
If you really like this game, gives you some options to make the experience even funner.
Yeah, it looks cool. I was interested since the first time I looked at the game, and I'm glad that you did end up getting it. Get the expansion, $6, both games, $3 for shipping, not the total. That's a little more. But hopefully
Yeah,
the
not an
expansion's
awful
good.
price.
More
It's
people get it.
coming estimated delivery January 2025.
Yeah.
It's a little bit out there, but yeah, hopefully that'll be one people can get after the fact as well. If you don't maybe like some of that gold foil or whatever, you just kind of want whatever version you can get your hands on. Probably be hopefully a little cheaper after the fact.
I think these people are bad at the game. There's like a double letter here, two P's. And just because you spell it out one letter at a time and people try to figure out what word you're giving them, I feel like they could have it after the first P in both of these cases, but maybe not. Maybe it was
You never
not
know.
obvious.
You never know. And then we've got Misty Valley, a magical expedition for 2 daring explorers. We just got a lot of two-player games today. I, I don't feel like there's always that many on Kickstarters, but this has been, this is for sure probably been the most we've ever had on one of these.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one looks like it's maybe a little bit more approachable for families, but at the same time, it seemed like you were going to be doing some interesting things that kind of area control, sort of area influence, whatever you want to call it. So I'm like, it seems like there's enough chewiness there to take a bite of the game potentially, even though at first it looks like maybe it was going to be really light and really approachable. I don't know if that's the case for sure. Couldn't 100% tell.
Yeah, I didn't look too close at it, but yeah, I think you're placing these tiles out to put influence into the different.
Which those tiles remind me of Cacao
or whatever it is.
Cacao.
Phil Walker Harding game. That's what I was thinking as well, because that's very similar. You have your workers going off the edges. Yeah, that's cool. I like that mechanism, and I would love an approachable version of that. Cacao is pretty approachable, but now this one looks equally approachable, and it just looks cool. Great artwork as well, and a couple really nice components with those 2 meeples. Looks really nice.
It actually looked more interesting than when I first saw the cover, and I was maybe expecting it to. So,
price-wise, we got the base game for $24 with all the unlocked expansions. I believe is that just that one version.
I think so.
Well, I think.
And it's supposed to deliver by the end of the year, so not too far out there. So yeah, not an awful price, even with the shipping, another 11. I mean, it's not bad at all. It's a simpler game, I think, but I'd actually be interested in trying this one because I do tend to like some of these kind of simpler tile placement style games. So I can see myself liking this one maybe potentially quite a bit. Yeah, especially since it's a 2-player game.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a lot of them that aren't 2-player only.
Yeah. Feels like it could be more than 2 players.
It does. It does seem like it could be a 4-player game, but maybe they're starting here, see how it's received.
Yes, get those expansions. Boy, Tsukuyumi.
Speak of expansions. Tsukuyumi Amaterasu Rising.
Yes.
Which, I feel 172,000, 1,200 backers. Almost 2 weeks to go. I feel like I hear of this one and maybe a different one, but I have absolutely no idea what they are, what they do.
I don't remember that being the cover. I thought it was just more of just a symbol or something, like a big red circle or something. Maybe it changed.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's just an expansion. I don't. But yeah, I was thinking it was more of that. And for some reason, then that made me think of, I don't know why, but with the name and stuff, just made me think of maybe some like Japanese like fighting game or something. I guess I don't
Yeah.
even know if that is Japanese, but it's what I was thinking in my head. I guess I never really looked at into this game.
Yeah.
And then I see this and I'm like, whoa, 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 we're fighting with different factions here. What's going on? And then we've got some kaijus in there as well now.
Yeah.
Or maybe they were already in there, I don't know, but got me a little bit more interested in the game.
Yeah, it's
But then I might have saw the price for a lot of stuff and that kind of
I mean,
drew me
just
back out of the game.
Pledge Manager access is $11 on this one. Yeah, that's a bit much. I'm just seeing that now. Returning backer, you can upgrade some things for $43.
Yeah, not awful if you have some of the stuff and whatnot, but yeah, there's a lot of content here. This was one that I felt like you could just scroll and scroll, and it's got all these different options. You can spend various amounts of money depending on what you want. More and more money. Yeah, even the starter packs about $100.
Bucks. Returning backer all in, so everything new, $145. All in, $301. So that's it's not. I mean, for starter pack being 100, max being like $300, it's actually a little surprising.
Yeah, it doesn't seem crazy.
And you can get some miniatures that you can use in the other game, Bubble Net.
There you go. That would be pretty cool. Yeah, I think the miniatures look pretty cool.
Yeah, they do.
I don't know, something about the board. I kind of like it, and I kind of don't. I don't know.
The board is like long gone now. I'm not
it's
going
long
to be
gone.
That.
I don't think you'll ever find it again.
Oh boy, shipping is going to be
it's variable.
Here's 20 to 40, possibly, depending what you're getting.
Which, I mean, I guess if you're already in for the 40-ish, if you're already in 300 deep, what's another $40?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is one that I'd be interested in trying. This is another one. I mean, all that content and stuff.
Yeah.
It's recently I've had some flooding in the basement. Had to move a bunch of board games up from the basement and just realize how many there are. And this one scares me in the content of it, how much this would take up. So I think this one would definitely be one I'd want to try before I buy.
Yeah, for sure.
It could be good. I don't know. I don't know if it felt like it was anything drawing me in too much to the gameplay that was a big hook, but I like the thought of different factions and stuff doing different things, and could be pretty solid.
Yeah. Oh boy, and we're gonna have a couple pirate themed games here.
We are.
It's the first of the bunch, and there were even more. I think we have two here.
I think there was the other one that I was like, I think the other one was more of like a miniature RPG thing.
It looked good for what it was.
Yeah.
Just really not what we kind of gravitate towards. But there's even more pirate games out there if you just want pirate games. So go look.
Let's go to go back to John Declared.
Yes.
Dead Reckoning.
Boy. The Pirate Republic, Africa Gambit. A swashbuckling board game for 1 to 5 peeps eager for pirates, pillage, and plunder.
Yes.
I see.
61,000, over 500 backers, over a week to go. And yeah, when I first saw the box here, I didn't hate it. But I was like,
it's. Well, first I'm like, oh, are those like real pictures of people? Because
that's what I wasn't sure of either.
Games. But I don't think it is. I think it's just a really good artwork, and
I feel like this was one that if I actually saw the physical cover, it would maybe be better to me than when I initially saw it. On here. But then I don't know. There was something about this one that drew me in. I don't know what it is about it. I think it was probably those discs and stuff. I was like, hey, this one could be good. This one's got a chance of being. Well, I think I've always wanted to find a pirate themed game.
Yeah.
And with those tokens there in that bag, that's got me hooked. That's all you need to hook me into a game.
My goodness, there's a lot on those discs.
There's a lot there.
A decent
But
amount.
it's good. It's good stuff. And then you're
Yeah.
claiming areas there and stuff. I don't know. Something about that seemed kind of cool to me.
It looks good.
Yeah.
I would like a. I guess maybe that's what is it? Dead Reckoning. Is that what it is called?
Mhm.
John declares. Maybe we should go for that one. Just for something that's not totally storytelling. Just Forgotten Waters is great, and it gives that
No, that's true.
experience of
Forgotten
that.
Waters.
But you are kind of on that one path of trying to finish the story, Cody Rhodes, and if you want something a little more, I mean, you can go and do your own thing. That's good in that, but
Yeah.
if you want something just more open world, something similar to Western Legends, but with pirates, I don't know if we totally have that or that we've
No.
seen one or found one that is that, which seems like it should be. And I'm sure there are ones that are very open world that's just very fitting for the theme.
Right.
But,
Yeah. Let us know if you know of any in the
yeah.
comments that make you think of maybe Western Legends open sandboxy world. Because I think that was the thing about this one that I was thinking it maybe would have
Could be.
that feel, and I was like, I could go for that.
Shipping is
Yeah.
going to be about 20 to 30 bucks. Basic pledge is going to be 79 bucks. Get it upgraded with some nice components
treasure.
for 99 and go even more with the booty.
The chips booty. Yeah, it's the tough
19.
part. It's the tough part. The thing that draws me in is even more money.
And then you're like 150 bucks in.
Yeah. And then yeah, some of the stuff, like some of those boards and stuff, I was like, I don't like the look of those quite as much. They kind of feel a little bit blah.
Yeah, a little bit.
The game board I like, but then yeah, like that right there. That if that's a
I mean,
player board. It's
it's
not awful, but
parchment. It's kind of fitting.
that's true. That's true. And maybe maybe in real life it would look better. But to me, at first when I was looking at it, just felt like kind of almost a blank sheet with just the numbers on it to track things, and I'm like, I don't know. But
Yeah,
I suppose it doesn't. It's not like it has to be flashy. Everything else is flashy.
that's true.
Make up for it.
Just getting a
But yeah,
3D.
I ended up being a little bit more interested in that one than I thought I would be.
That's probably near the top of his list then. Yeah, it's probably mid for me. Probably near the bottom actually. I like more approachable games. It seemed a lot to it. And then we have Rogue Seas. 16,650.
Quite. I guess it's not quite back yet. Someone gotta go be that
That's
backer
true.
that gets it
That's
there.
true. Another $1,000. Very cool image. I know you can't see the face of the warrior here, of the pirate, but very cool image. That's drawing me in a
Cool
little
image.
bit. Oh, there he is. So another pirate themed game. This one seems much more bright, vibrant, colorful, not as realistic and muted as the other one. I like this cover as well. I think it's another good cover. It's a little dark, but I do like it. And I don't know if it quite matches bright blue board with the bright colored ships.
Yeah, it feels like two different things there. I would agree.
Artwork's
But I do
very
like
nice.
some of this artwork. I do like that. A little somehow giving it more of a cartoony,
Yeah.
not quite cartoon, but more cartoony than realistic, I would say. Look.
Yeah.
I like the look of some of these things, and the dice look cool, but I wasn't sure if this one would be kind of too simple or lucky.
Oh, yeah. Is it going to be
That's
just
what I wasn't sure.
Totally swingy type of thing? Or, oh, I went and attacked you and I had just the greatest roll and you're completely demolished. I just completely whiffed. I don't know if it's going to have that. That's just not looking too much into the game. I don't think that there's any reason to think this is a bad design or anything. I just don't know much about it. There were 2 pirate games. We can't investigate every detail about these games and give you informed opinions. We just go off our first impressions.
We do.
But
And
the
yeah,
boats look really nice.
I would agree. The boats do look pretty interesting.
As long as
Yeah,
they stand upright.
that is what I was a little worried about. I don't know. They look like they could
Look like they
potentially become top
got a
heavy.
little base, hopefully.
Hopefully, they'll make a good base for them. But then, yeah, building your crew. I mean, it looks like not too many symbols there, so maybe it'll be kind of an easy flow game. Yeah, I think this one would definitely be more approachable than the last one we just looked at. But I don't know if it would be too simple. Like I said, I haven't looked at gameplay of this to see if that is the case. But yeah, might have to look at this one too.
$59. Get some ships, some more ships, some cards, some tiles. Soon cardboard. Gold there. Cubes, dice, dials, ships, board. Good amount of components. You get an upgrade to
Metal coin.
only $79, so $20 more for metal coins, a cloth bag, and some sleeves. Bring it up to 109. Get a numbered magnetic box, some gold foil stamping on the board there. Not on the board. On who knows what. And a neoprene playmat. Probably don't need a neoprene playmat, so metal coins are tempting.
Yeah,
be a
I'd
little
probably
much.
get the metal coins. Yeah, it looks like a May 2025 delivery date. And about another 20 in shipping almost. So gets up there, kind of like the rest of them. But
I would say I'm more interested in this one of the two pirate themed games.
yeah, I think that one could be good too.
Here. And another, well, not a pirate themed game, but if you've seen The Last Voyage of the Demeter, he has been known to.
It could be. It definitely is. That's what this game is.
Yes.
Blood.
Almost
500,000 euro, 2,500 backers, 11 days to go.
Look at that box. Look at that box. There is no better use.
I did not see that. That looks pretty cool.
Side box of the box that doesn't really fit. Sometimes they got a little gap there. It'll be a cool color or something, but it's like, I'd rather it just fit flush. But right here to get those Dracula teeth, I love it.
That is pretty cool. I will admit that. But yeah, then the rest of the game feels like a lot. It feels like a lot potentially. It's kind of a, from my understanding, kind of a battler game where you're trying to defeat different baddies or whatever. Looks like a lot of good miniatures possibly, but this one looks like another one of those huge games probably with lots of options of.
What are you talking about? There's only 7 boxes here. Oh my goodness. Socks. You can get socks with it.
That's be pretty cool. Pretty cool.
I do like socks.
I mean, this one could be good. I don't know. Sometimes when it gets into some of these darker games, I think it's harder to win me over. And a lot of the artwork is black, red, white. It's just a tough sell for me. Definitely like we looked at on the last one, kind of the bright neon-y colors.
Yeah.
Tend to like that a little bit more. Not that this is awful, but it's
I
just
like black and white together. I just not as into the darker themes along with it. I love those colors together, but you're going just like kind of blood and nasty things like that, which Dracula stuff is usually not so disgusting, at least. Like a Cthulhu type thing. It's a little more classy.
The classy Vlad.
Classy gore. Yes. But I do like these miniatures that they kind of have the dual plastics, so they can have the translucent reds, making me think of the cooperative unmatched Tales to a Maze with the Mothman and the aliens kind of having the see-through, either the bright green or the UFO laser or whatever, or think his wings and the Mothman are translucent, and maybe his eyes as well are red. I think
so.
His wings are like a dark see-through black. So very cool in these miniatures. Look very cool.
I
look very
agree. The miniatures are awesome.
But yeah, it's another giant game, battling game. We don't need another one, but I do recommend Simon to get some of these types of miniatures in the next season of Cthulhu Death May Die. I want some see-through plastic.
I don't know if have they done that. They have a lot of miniature games, and I don't know.
They do.
Top of my head if they have any, if they've ever done that. But yeah, they definitely should. Well, maybe with Marvel United, did they?
Oh, they do have. I think there's
a couple recently.
I think a couple of them. Yeah. So
maybe they'll get into it.
What are the prices here? Where are these prices?
I just assumed it was going to be a few $100.
$229 for the Endless Night. So not quite $300.
$299. Oh, I thought
$299.
I heard you say $229 for some reason.
Oh no, much more than that. $299.
December 2005, so it's already shipped. So hopefully you paid for it, but
only that one. Everything else you're gonna have to wait till next year. Potential edition. So none of those minis, standees. 65. Get the miniatures with it, and you're up to 109, which isn't that bad. Looked like
it's not awful
in there, but I guess I don't know what we were scrolling through. What was expansion? What wasn't? Or something in between. Lose the socks and knock $100 off of there. 200. So it looks cool, and hopefully it's a great game for those that shipping.
I guess I don't remember what is it, Ludus Magnus Studio, whatever. I know they've done other big games. But
I did look at them. What did they do? Just looked at them when I looked at this. I already forgot. DEI. Yes, they did.
I think Black Rose Wars had really cool looking minis too. They're definitely a company that knows how to do that. Really good minis, but they also make very spendy games. That's what you get when you get those, unfortunately. And they're just big games. Take up a lot of space. I think we've found that some of those can sometimes be difficult to get to the table.
Yeah.
So, for us. But yeah, I think this one, if you're a big fan of kind of that, a Dracula style theme, some darker feeling, I think this could be pretty solid.
Yeah.
Especially if you like miniatures too.
Yeah, for sure. I think my pick of the week might be just the very first thing that we looked at with that. Reiner Knizia has really grown on me as a designer. The Iliad, I guess probably especially since you have Phantom Ink, and I'm removing that from the options. Otherwise, that one might take it. I think that's probably
Mike Delicio.
Yes, I'm coming around. He's gonna win I'm starting to predict all these new games he's releasing. He's gonna win the spiel like 5 years in a row.
He's gonna have 3 nominations. They're all gonna be him. I probably ended up going with Ada's Dream. I think that's probably the one that I would most likely get.
I think so for you.
Yeah, I don't know if there's. I think the other one that I might get would be the second one we looked at, just based on price and it looks cool. I would definitely have to look into some gameplay of it to actually see how it played out. But I think it'd be one of those two. Yeah, something about dice rondel. I really love the thought of that and multiplying your score and stuff. I'm like, it's weird that I can't think of too many games that use like some of that math stuff to generate points. You're using it in games, but it not as like obvious, like hitting you in the face with it.
There should be. Someone needs to just make a Panda Royale.
The great Dr. Reiner Knizia.
Panda Royale is just great at just simple kind of scoring with just dice.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe you could make something just very simple, dice and math and multiplication, different things like that. Make a nice game out of it.
We're here for it. Well, I am. I don't know about Pepper. I can't talk for Pepper.
I am. Yes, I was leading up. I was describing it, and then I was going to say, and I would hate that.
I knew you were going to say that. But yeah, if you guys have made it this far, we appreciate you watching. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe for future ones of these. And like I said, let us know in the comments below what you're currently backing. If you think who you think's right. Is Ada's Dream gonna be a hit, or is Reiner Knizia's two classic games, are those gonna be hits? Or are they all gonna be hits? We'll have to find out. But we hope to see you on the next one. And as always, don't forget to keep on nibbling on our content.